was saying it's a distinct pleasure for me, along with our ambassadors to Bangladesh, to be, and of course our colleagues from Bangladesh, to be standing in front of you this afternoon after an in-depth session of political consultations between our two countries that are taking place for the very first time. And I specifically wanted to come to Dhaka on that occasion of these first consultations in a context where France and Bangladesh enjoy a thriving relationship. It's not new, so to speak, because France and Bangladesh have had the privilege of a very close and long-standing common history, rooted in the very early days of the independence of your country. André Malraux, who is a national hero in France for many reasons, is, I know, a respected character here in Bangladesh for joining the effort and the will of all Bengalis for independence in 1971. And of course, everyone in France remembers his visit to Bangladesh and the discussions that he had with Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman when he was here in Dhaka shortly afterwards. So we have a very solid foundation, but foundations for a house are not, sufficient. This is why we have built over the years a very consistent and solid common house. And a milestone of this construction was obviously the visit of your Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina, to Paris in the fall of 2021. She was hosted both by President Macron and by then Prime Minister Jean Castex. And then, of course, 2022 was a special year for France and Bangladesh because we celebrated 50 years of diplomatic relations with a number of initiatives, projects that are taking place as we speak for some of them. And so here we are now in early 2023 with these political consultations that gave us a golden opportunity to review the common work that we are pursuing together, but also to decide of new projects and new initiatives across the board, I have to say, when it comes to economic cooperation, people-to-people exchanges, that is university exchanges, connectivity, scientific cooperation, and also defense cooperation issues, and also naturally climate change related issues and biodiversity related issues. So we have a full scope of cooperation. When it comes to development, we have the presence in Bangladesh of the so-called French Development Aid Agency, Agence Française de Développement, that is very dedicated to contribute to the green development of Bangladesh in many ways, through projects like the bus rapid transit in Dhaka, through a project of clean water in Chittagong, a project for cleaner air in the country as well. So these are just a few examples, but I think telling examples of what we are doing together. Of course, there will be more to come. We will keep and cherish, of course, this new mechanism of consultations between our two countries. We will be hosting the second session of our consultation sometime next year, probably at the beginning of the year in Paris. And I would want to conclude these opening remarks with a couple of additional words to tell you that the relationship between our two countries is the one I just described, and we want to build it for the sake of the France-Bangladesh relationship, which is important to us, and as I said, which has been consistently important to us. But there is an additional reason why we want an enhanced commitment with Bangladesh. And that second reason is the choice by France and also the choice by France and its European partners to come up with respective Indo-Pacific strategies. So France has one, the EU now has one, and I don't want to be too long on that, but just to tell you that the reason why we came up with these strategies is because we do believe that there are major opportunities for France and for Europe in this part of the world, and specifically in Bangladesh. There are also major challenges in this region when it comes to security, when it comes to climate change, when number of things. And so this is an additional reason why we want to work ever closer with countries of the Indo-Pacific and significantly with Bangladesh. Last year, during the first semester, France was chairing the European Union. It's a one semester rotating presidency. And France decided to, along with its partners of the European Union, to organize in Paris the first ever ministerial forum on cooperation in the Indo-Pacific between the EU and the Indo-Pacific. So we have 27 EU member states, we have the EU institutions, so we decided that we would invite about an equivalent number of countries and institutions of the Indo-Pacific. And of course, for us, it was only natural that among these roughly 30 countries and institutions of the Indo-Pacific, that Bangladesh would be part of the group and of the discussions. And so we were honored to welcome your foreign minister back then, and for a very, yet again, fruitful discussion in the framework of these both national and EU Indo-Pacific strategies. Thank you so much, and of course I'm ready to take any. The ambassadress is very strict on the schedule. That's only normal. I would do the same if I were her. Maybe just one then. If you would. Okay, all right.
One question.